Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series on PLC programming. In today's video, I'm going to explain example number 15 which has the problem statement given as follows. At the first place, we will be trying to understand the requirement by looking at the diagram and correlate with what the requirement is all about. And once we understand the requirement, we will be drawing the ladder diagram and we will also realize it for this given problem statement. So now what is the process all about? They've given normally open, start and normally close stop push buttons are used to start and stop the process. So that is quite common in all the processes, isn't it? So we have solved a lot of examples, and if you carefully observe, we will definitely use a start push button and a stop push button. So that's quite common. That is always necessary for any type of process to start. When the start button is pressed, solenoid A energizes to start filling the tank. That means when you are pressing the start push button in the control station, what happens is solenoid A will be energized and it allows the liquid to flow through this and the tank starts filling at this point in time. As the tank fills, the empty level sensor switch closes. So once the tank starts filling, the empty level sensor switch will close. That is basically acting as a short circuit in the ladder diagram. When the tank is full, the full level sensor switch closes. So that is quite common, isn't it? Once it is full, it kind of indicates that the tank is full and there needs to be a certain process that needs to be carried out later after the tank is full. So that is what we're going to continue reading. When the tank is full, the full level sensor switch closes and the solenoid A is de-energized. So once the tank is full, this will get activated and solenoid A will be deactivated so that it does not allow further movement of the liquid to flow into this tank. The agitate motor starts automatically and runs for 3 minutes to mix the liquid. Once the solenoid A is deactivated, the motor should start because there is no more liquid that is coming in and it should start mixing whatever the liquid that is there inside. So the process of motor mixing should carry out for 3 minutes and that is what is given. And this is why we will be requiring a timer. I hope this point is clear. When the agitate motor stops, solenoid B is energized to empty the tank. So once like after 3 minutes, the motor will come to an halt, isn't it, according to the requirement. So once it stops, solenoid B will be energized. And once this is energized, it allows the flow of liquid and the tank starts emptying up and the liquid starts flowing through this path. When the tank is completely empty, the empty sensor switch opens to de-energize solenoid B. So the empty level sensor switch, once it is empty in the tank, it indicates that the solenoid B should actually be de-energized and it does not allow further movement of liquid to flow through. So that is why an empty sensor switch plays a very important role here. The start button is pressed to repeat the sequence. So again, if you want to continue this process, you have to press the start push button. A stop push button is normally used to stop the process at any point in time you feel you have to stop the process based on the industrial requirement. There should always be a provision provided and that will be done with the help of a stop push button. So I hope the requirement is now understood. So as a whole, if you have to look at the summary, the liquid starts flowing once solenoid is energized and the liquid keeps flowing, and once it reaches the full level sensor gets activated. Once this is activated, they should turn off and the motor should run for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, the liquid that is there here will start flowing through solenoid B. For that, solenoid B should be activated and the motor will be stopping meantime. And once the liquid starts flowing, once the tank is empty, the empty level sensor will indicate that the tank is empty, and once this is high, the solenoid B should be deactivated. Again, should for the process to continue, the start push button should be pressed again. So this is the entire process. So I have given a quick summary of it. Now let us look at the ladder diagram. So this is the ladder diagram. So understanding the requirement is the toughest thing. So once you know the requirements, the ladder diagram will not take much time, but it might be quite confusing when you're using an off delay timer. So that is what we're going to take care of. We'll be carefully observing what is the process and how it is actually happening. And now we will start off by pressing the start push button. So once the start push button is pressed, so this gets high, isn't it? Before that, one important thing that I wanted to tell you guys is, so these are normally close contacts. So whenever they are energized or they're acting as short circuit, I'll be indicating them in green. So now start push button is pressed. the rung gets energized. As this is short circuited, this is short circuited initially, the solenoid A gets activated. So this is exactly according to our requirement, isn't it? Once the start is pressed, the solenoid should be activated. So solenoid is activated. So the same solenoid A is actually used here according to the concept of latching. So in case you have still confusions on what latching is all about, please do watch one of our videos that I've made on latching, and that will give you a clear understanding of what latching is all about. Now if you carefully observe, the same solenoid A address is used over here. This contact also gets energized, and consequently the rung gets energized, and as a result the off delay timer gets energized. Once the off delay timer is energized, according to the concept of off delay timer, the enable bit and done bit goes high instantly in this particular fashion. So now this has gone high, isn't it? If you carefully observe T40 done bit, that is basically used over here and that is used over here, this is going high, that means this will go low, isn't it? Because this is a normally closed contact, as a result it will go low. However, this will be high because this is going high. Consequently, this is a normally open contact, same address is used over here, and this is going high. Now what has happened as of now? If you carefully observe, once start push button was pressed, we have achieved the done bit of the off delay timer to go high. As a result, this has become high. Consequently, at some point in time, once the liquid started flowing and it fills up, the full level sensor switch will be activated. So let me assume the full level sensor which was not activated to be activated now in this particular fashion. So once it is activated, the motor starts, isn't it? Meantime, one more thing that you have to observe here is, once the full level sensor was activated here, when this goes high, this will go low, isn't it? Because this is a normally closed contact and it acts complementary to that of the normally open contact. So this went high, consequently this will go low. As a result, the solenoid A is getting deactivated. So this is what our requirement was all about, isn't it? Once the full level sensor is high, consequently solenoid A will be deactivated and the liquid should not stop, like start flowing continuously. It should stop now. So the solenoid A is deactivated and we are able to achieve it. But one more thing that we wanted is, once the solenoid A is deactivated, the motor should start rotating for 3 minutes. Is that happening? Yes, it is happening. If you ask me how, the solenoid here became deactivated, isn't it? So the same solenoid A address is used here and this will also become deactivated. Now when this is deactivated, there will be no current flowing through this path as this is acting as open circuit, isn't it? When this is acting as open circuit, the off delay timer is de-energized. So according to the concept of off delay timer, when it was initially energized, enable and run bit goes high, and once it is de-energized, the timer starts counting now. One important thing that I missed out here is the enable bit will also go to low state once this off delay timer goes to low state instantly. So just make this correction that this should also be in red. But meanwhile, the timer starts counting for 180 seconds and the motor is still high, isn't it? So for 180 seconds, the motor will still be rotating, and after 180 seconds is completed, the done bit will go low in this particular fashion. Once the done bit is going low, the same address is used here, hence this goes low. As a result, there will be no current flowing through this path as this is acting as open circuit, the motor stops. So the motor was rotating for 3 minutes and the motor went low, isn't it? So we are able to achieve that. Consequently, since this went low, this will go high, isn't it? So what has happened so far? So the mixture or the liquid that is there is mixed through the motor and the motor has stopped. Now when the empty level sensor goes high, what happens? The entire rung gets energized, the solenoid B will be activated. Now the solenoid B will basically allow the flow of liquid that is mixed to flow through this path. So once the liquid is flowing through this path, if the empty level sensor indicates that the liquid is completely low, then this will go low. Consequently, solenoid B also will be deactivated. So this is how you have to look at any process for that matter. This is the steps that you need to follow on how to understand the ladder diagram. I hope this problem gave you a fair amount of idea on how to use off delay timer and how to approach these type of problems. In case you have any questions, feel free to reach out by typing in your questions in the comment section below. If you like this video, please do like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Thanks for watching this video. Please do keep supporting. Thank you.